We didn't.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome to the Tammy and Wanda show, guys.
Hey, we're back. And we just finished watching the Super Bowl.
LVI.
Woo!
Whatever that means. I think it's 56, but I'm not sure. So we're doing a new format. We're going to see how you guys like it. Just let us know if you like this or want us to go back to how we recorded before.
Yeah.
So
kind of saves us on equipment.
Yeah. Less equipment, less lighting needed. Awesome. Less
So
effort to post for you guys. So today,
for viewers like you. Thank you.
Our episode is very timely. For those of you that know what day it is, we're going to release this the night before Valentine's Day.
I know it's Valentine's Eve.
So today's episode will be called Dear Cupid, Keep Your Arrows to Yourself. Because
yes, love stinks. Yeah.
We are not big fans of V-Day here at Tammy and Wanda show.
No, we may have V's, but it's not V-Day here.
Wrong V. Incorrect V. So
X-nay on the VA.
I often wonder when people like us stop liking Valentine's Day. That's like my
I can distinctly remember.
You know exactly the moment you lost faith in love.
Yep.
Whoa, let's hear about it.
Senior year.
Of high school?
Of high school.
Oh, that was way soon.
Yep.
Was it a boy or an experience?
It was a boy.
Okay.
It was a boy. And I honestly, it was the first Valentine's, because really beforehand, I really didn't, because like, I don't know about anyone else's school, but my school had like these Valentine's like questionnaires.
Ew.
Yeah.
I already hate it.
And that you had like these questionnaires that you filled out, and it did like a love machine or something where it showed you who you were compatible with in school.
Oh my God. How embarrassing.
I know. I feel like I was very confused, and I was oddly weirded out.
It's almost as bad as the Mean Girls suckers
like,
or whatever.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then of course you could send like anonymous carnations, and you had levels of carnations. You had interested.
Okay.
You had just want to be friends.
Okay.
I like you.
So one-sided, got it.
Yeah. So it like those were like the three. I never got one. But this kid, his name is Zach Denardi, and of course one of our possible listeners, one of our close friends, Katie.
Yeah.
She knows Zach Denardi.
I always forget you guys went to school together.
I know, right?
It weirds me out every time.
It's mind-blowing to know that like it within our friendship, it's very funny. Within our group, 3 of us have gone to school together.
In one way or another.
In one way or another. Kelly, I went to college with Katie, and I went to high school with Katie.
And I'm the odd man out.
Woo!
I just came along later, which is cool.
But it's so funny. So Zach Denardi, he was a year younger than me. I have a thing, I not me personally, but clearly I do. I attract younger men.
The youngins like you. Got it.
Young ones like me. Weird. So anyways, back to my story. So he had a crush on me. We were both in speech and drama together.
Ooh, speech and drama.
Yes. So we would have many practices where it was after school. So we spent a lot of time together. And during school, or during my high school years, I really liked frogs for some reason. I thought they were really cute, and I really liked the stuffed animals. So he's like, noted. And he just kept asking me all these stupid questions. And we had math together. We had algebra 2 together.
Interesting.
Okay. So I'm setting it up. In a world
where
of
algebra
high school
2 is awful.
In a world where algebra 2 is awful and two kids star-crossed lovers
Oh.
in high school. So the next day, I of course was Valentine's Day. So I was sitting because you had to go to the gym. I don't know how your school was, where you had to go to the gym before you went to homeroom.
No, it was just straight to homeroom for me.
Yeah. The early ones, when they got dropped off, they had to go and sit in the gym. So one of my friends, or one of our mutual friends, was like, hey, so I forget my algebra 2 teacher's name, but they were like, she needs to see you. And I'm like, what? That's weird. Why didn't she just come and get me? And they're like, she's in her classroom. So I'm like, okay. So I turned down, because the way that it was split off in the high school. So I went down into like the math wing, or I don't know, whatever wing it was. Come around the corner, Hershey Kisses were lining on the floor.
Kind of sweet.
Trailed all the way to the classroom. In the opening was a vase full of flowers and a stuffed animal of a frog. And it said, Happy Valentine's Day.
That's really nice.
It was really sweet. And then he asked me to prom. And then he got in trouble and got grounded. And I went stag.
End of the lovey-dovey that exploded your love meter forever.
I was done with that. I was like, yep. Nope.
See, I understand why that could happen. You're so young and in high school, and everything's so dreamy and wonderful, and then you get old and things just get more and more cynical as you get older. I think as you learn life lessons. For me, nothing really ruined it. There's no big story. There's no like whatever. It was just, I just think you look it back into the history of Valentine's Day, and it was about Saint Valentine.
Yeah.
Which was a massacre. If you look it up, a lot of people died on Saint Valentine's Day.
They're trying to make up for what happened.
Yeah, and you go, that was a bloody holiday that murdered a lot of people, and we're gonna go, I love you.
You know, that's what happened. A corporate company was sitting there smoking their stogies or their unfiltered stripes.
Lucky Strikes.
Lucky Strikes is going, you know what? We need a holiday.
For lovers.
For lovers. You know what? Valentine's. They became New Yorkers.
It sounds very much like Estelle, Joey's agent on Friends.
Joey.
It's Estelle.
Or it makes me think of what's her name from Monsters Inc. Mr. Zawalny, Michael Zawalski. You didn't file your paperwork last night.
It's her, but what is her name? If you guys remember her name, put it in the comments.
I can't remember.
We love Disney movies, but
you just see them like going, well, sir, I believe something in February.
I think it's a depressing time on the calendar. There's a lot of cold weather there. Everything's single digits.
Oh, we should go with something red.
The color of blood.
Color of blood. Well, sir, on February 14th, they had a smart person there.
Yeah.
They're like,
there's
on
always
February
that smart
14th,
person.
Back eons ago, there was a massacre. Perfect. We'll do it that day.
Red. Everything's red. The flowers, the dresses.
I tried to give it a chance.
Well, you did.
After having that bar set so high and then it getting set so low. My college boyfriend, I wanted to do something nice for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I got enough money, got a hotel room for us.
Ooh. So you're the fancy planner in this scenario. Gotcha.
Yes. I sent him a card that was kind of like a coded card.
Oh, I like
where
you
had to like
say
you had to like figure out like what we were doing for Valentine's Day.
That's fancy.
And it had like the room number in it because I already had the room number.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Know what I get? a recycled teddy bear from one of his ex-girlfriends, and he didn't stay the night
Oh my God.
because he had to work the next day.
Oh, sometimes men can be really dense. That stresses me out. just hearing about it.
You're poor Wanda, my friends.
Ugh.
She has it bad.
See, I was very lucky. I always had like boyfriends, or since there's multiple husbands in play here, you know, honestly, the first time he was always really great about doing something nice on that day and whatever. And I think for me, I've always been a big proponent, especially after getting divorced and getting remarried, that you should show your partner through mistakes I made the first time. You love them every day,
Yep.
not just well, here in Ohio, we have 2 days a year that we celebrate. It's Sweetest Day and Valentine's Day. I hate them both because it's like, you should do little things that are sweet for your spouse all the time.
It shouldn't come down to a day.
Yeah.
It's not a day.
So we don't celebrate at my house. And what's nice is I have a husband that understands that. So like,
I know. And I see like on Facebook, all of my friends who have spouses, and they're just like, oh, I got just 'cause flowers. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
but I think just because flowers mean a lot more than, hey, it's this day that Hallmark came up with, and here's your flowers, your obligatory presents because it's that day.
Yeah.
And you go, don't we have enough of that with Christmas?
You would
isn't
think.
Christmas and your birthday enough obligatory gifts for people that we can get past
And what
that?
drives me crazy, okay, is all the stores that pull out all the goddamn stuff like months early.
It's always like the week of Christmas you can get Valentine's Day candy.
Yes.
I think one year I actually bought Valentine's candy because I really like those dove hearts.
Yeah.
And put them in my own stocking for myself.
You know what's crazy? This year, I saw more Easter candy out first before I ever saw Valentine's stuff out. Thanks, Dollar General.
How does that candy even stay good until Easter if it's 6 months in advance?
Don't know.
Ooh,
I
that's
don't
a great
know.
question. Preservatives.
One thing that leads to mental illness.
And I'll tell you, I've always been a big, I don't know if it's because in my previous relationship, there were always, every time we had a fight, his go-to was sending me flowers, which is really nice. Okay, it is.
It is.
It's really nice.
But it's triggering
But
in a negative way.
you see him and you're like, really? You couldn't have just said you're sorry or made it up in a different way, or like been better this time? Like, because it was always like the same 3 fights, because every couple has like the same few fights that they always have.
Yeah.
And it kind of burnt me out because it was like, that was just some flimsy, empty gesture for me. And so honestly, the only flowers I like now are just because flowers.
Yeah.
Only because there's no reason, there's no premeditated, reason to get into my good graces.
Every time I see flowers, I always think of a funeral because I've been to so many.
Oh, that's fair.
Like flowers to me equals death, because I've been to so many funerals as a child that like it's really hard for me to like I accept flowers. And really, all of you listeners out there who probably know me in some way, shape, or form, if I accepted flowers from you, it's genuine. But when I get home, I don't know what the fuck to do with them.
You know why else they remind me of death? Honestly, because I'm right there with you.
It's such a problem.
All they do is die.
They do.
So you're saying I love you with something that's going to die.
They do.
So unless you get like a plantable flower or like a flower basket, which is usually my Mother's Day gift, is like a planted basket you can hang outside that like lasts all summer.
Yeah.
I like those. Those are fine.
Well, now I've come to the point where, I mean, we're coming up at the end of the month will be 2 years that my grandma's been gone.
That's a rough anniversary.
It's her 2-year death day.
Ugh.
And it's the last day of the month. So all the flowers that I've gotten, like when I left, when I resigned being a teacher last year, I took my flowers to my grandma's grave. I knew that that's where they would be
most appreciated.
Yeah. And that gave me a chance to just go up there and just see her.
Talk to her, tell her how life's happening.
And those were her just because flowers. Because I love her.
And I think that's more pure in a way than I mean, I know that's kind of like a customary thing since we both do theater. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
You buy your friends flowers whenever they're in a show. And I don't know why we started doing that, because I don't know about you, but I'd rather get candy or like a fun little present.
Hey, I'm just happy when people come.
Well, that's a big thing too with community theater people. Is
With community theater people, I'm just happy you came.
we invite so many people, and it's like you invite 17 and like 2. You're lucky if 2 come, and you're like, yay, these 2 people love me the most.
It sucks. Like, I know that a lot more people would have came out if COVID wasn't so rampant, but
oh yeah. It's a bad time to be doing theater.
How it used to be. How it used to be. Like, just hearing my family members come and go, oh my God, you were so funny in this.
And it means more when it comes from family, I think. Not that you don't love your friends, but like, you want your mom as long as you have your mom in your life there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one. For me, it's both of my parents, because my dad, being a theater guy, he always has notes, which is really funny to me. Like, he's always like, you were great, but next time you do this show, do this and this and this different.
I love when he comes to my shows.
He's the best. He's such a theater dad. And I think
I am normally his number 1.
Well, for sure. I'm always number 2. That's how it is. But he's always done that. Like, through time. Like, I know I'm his favorite everything except for that, which is fine. And you go, okay, well, every show I've ever done with my dad, there's been a girl that he has like taken under his wing as like a pseudo daughter. And not in a creepy way at all. For those of you listening, it's always like, let me give you some advice. Or usually it's the girl that's having a rough time. Like, back, I think right after college, when I first started doing Tri-Way Capers with him, there was a girl that did the show that had just lost her mom. She was really struggling. Yeah. So he took her under his wing, and I've never been a jealous person. I have one sucky sibling, but basically I'm pretty much an only child. So like, sharing him is absolutely fine. I've had him all to myself for a long time.
You've had him for a while.
And he used to do flowers for me. That's, kind of bringing it full circle is, every big birthday, not every birthday, but like when I turned 16, when I turned 18, when I turned 21, he bought me pink roses. And when I graduated high school, my ex-husband got me yellow roses. For some reason, I love roses unless they're red. I don't know if it's because they're so like stereotypical Valentine's Day colored roses, or.
Well, I think, it's because it came from a genuine person, as opposed to the yellow, which is kind of triggering because it came from a negative time in your life.
Actually, that was a pretty positive time.
Was that a pretty positive time?
That was the first year we dated.
Negative.
Right.
So
yellow is one of my 2 favorite colors. So at the time it was my favorite color.
Yeah.
So, it showed that he knew who I was and that I hated red roses, and all these other girls were getting these red roses for graduation. And I was like, I'm lucky because mine actually cared enough to get a different color.
Right.
So it's nice, but like, flowers die. And when you get those, you're like, are you telling me our love's gonna die? Like, the flowers died. What's the thing here?
Yeah.
Why something that dies? Why not? I get chocolate.
Oh, I get chocolate.
That one makes sense to me.
That gives me warm, fuzzy feelings inside.
You want to make a girl happy at any day of the year, chocolate. I'm telling you.
Now it's just become alcohol.
Well,
give me that Valentine's alcohol. I mean, now that I've gotten older and I've sort of avoided chocolate, it's very hard for me to, like, every once in a blue moon, like probably around Shark Week, is when I really want chocolate. But other times, like, I just avoid chocolate.
Me, it's gummy candy on Shark Week. I don't know what it is, especially gummy bears. That's like my kryptonite during
I knew that Shark Week was about to begin because I was eyeing those Reese Cup Easter eggs.
Yes, those are some delicious, delightful treats too.
They're very tasty.
Do you know what else you realize whenever you get older? Just because, kind of being cynical about love is the thing you do, but the other thing is you really get picky about chocolate as you get older. Did you do that?
Yes.
Where like Hershey's,
that's
the
just
kid
like
loves
alcohol.
Hershey's, and it like just watching him eat it gives me heartburn.
Yeah.
Because it's like that pukey aftertaste, and it's so acidic. And I loved Hershey's. Now I can eat it on a s'mores.
Okay.
but I can't eat it by itself any longer. Like it just makes me like feel pukey.
Yeah, I think I ate a Hershey's candy bars way too much as a kid.
Is that what it was? Maybe
it kind of killed it. It's kind of like when you learn that certain types of alcohol are not your favorite because
tequila.
You mess with it way too much as a youngin'. Yeah.
Tequila and sour apple pucker.
Yeah. Nope. Well, and that's just like eating mac and cheese all the time as a kid. You don't want it when you're older because it makes you think of like wanting to hurl because you ate it so much as a child.
Significant others, by the way, my tip for Valentine's Day, if you celebrate it and you've got a mom at home or a wife that does a lot for you during the year or whatever, and you want to celebrate her, let her take a nap, take the kids somewhere for a few hours and let her just like paint her nails and put her hair down and
Valentine's, the second Mother's Day.
that would mean a lot more to me if I did celebrate it than flowers or a present or going out to dinner or any of that stuff.
Well, and I think that watching a lot of these romantic comedies have really killed it for me.
We were just talking about that yesterday. I was watching Sweet Magnolias and snapping Wanda. Nobody's actually really like this. There's no way in hell that people talk this way to each other or are this perfect all the time.
Yes, in Magnolia world.
I mean, I know they were based on a series of books, and I know that most of the time the stuff rings true, but I don't know if you guys watched that show at all. It was really hard for me this season because I have a big problem with Jamie Lynn Spears and how she's treated Britney through the conservatorship. So watching her on screen is a challenge for me. But again, husbands, other tip. I was watching an episode with hubby home and he was like, oh, who's that ugly chick? And it was Jamie Lynn. And I was like, I love him all over again. He's the best. But he's got some of the same critiques I do of that show. Is some of the stuff with a few of the Magnolias just doesn't ring true to me. Because there's like 3 ladies and they're the Sweet Magnolias of the show. And there's like this whole backstory. We're not going to get into it right now, but they basically have all their little love stories. So it's almost like a soap opera because you have all these like little mini stories happening. And then the bigger overarching story. The biggest problem for me though, is the ones that are too sappy make me not want to watch the show anymore. And then they have this wonderful, one of the Magnolias is this Black lawyer woman. And she is fabulous. And I only say that because she's like the only Black one out of the 3 Magnolias. So it makes her stand out. And I forget her name. So I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. So I just described her for you. So if you watch it, you'll know exactly what I mean. She's in love with this guy for most of the first season and most of her childhood. Yeah. And he like ruins everything for her. He shows her she can't trust men. He tells her he doesn't want a baby.
So a fucking gaslighter.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to ruin the last episode of season 2 for you guys, but he comes back into town for an event. I'm trying to be very vague. And he basically was like, I want you back and I want kids now. And she's already started this wonderful, deep, amazing relationship with the chef that works for her friend. And it's like, she's so happy. And
it's right out of a Hallmark Channel movie.
But seriously, it actually rings true until that guy shows up. Her relationship with this chef, he's there. She has a miscarriage at one point in that season. And he scoops her up and he takes her to the hospital. They're just friends at this point. And he loves her enough. And then he breaks down as soon as the other 2 friends get there while he's leaving, because you find out later that his first wife, I guess he's only been married the once, but he's a widower. She died and the baby died. She was pregnant and she was going into a miscarriage, and he lost them both because he was an EMT and he thought he could get to the hospital faster than an ambulance.
Aww.
And they didn't make it. So it was pretty raw for him. And you see, okay, well, he's able to overcome that and be with this woman. And I think that that's really the only relationship that rang true to me, because it's deeper than, oh, well, like you fucked around on me and then you left and then here, everything else just seems kind of cheesy. And then they drop people that watch it, Isaac's dad at the end. And I'm not going to ruin that bombshell of either parent, but you find out who it is. And I have never, I called husband and laughed for about 35 minutes because it figures. When you guys find out, it figures. But again, why is this guy always paved through as the bad guy? Why is it always him? Why is it always him?
Who knows?
And you look at that and you go, it's like watching a fucking romantic novel. It's all the things I hate about Hallmark.
Yep.
Which is why we are not Valentine's Day girls.
Yeah, it's just a pointless holiday. It's not even a holiday.
Mm-mm.
It's just I don't know.
Well, and here's the other thing is people are always trying to make it into this huge event that it doesn't need to be. Like, if you don't take me out to dinner, then I'm gonna be mad at you for 4 weeks. I have a friend that's similar to that, where if her husband doesn't do enough for her and doesn't celebrate and go over the top on all these things, I'm always like, but does he do the things that matter? Like, is he shoveling the driveway on days that it snows here in Northeastern Ohio for you? Is he salting your walkway so that you don't fall on your ass and you're bringing groceries
so you're not
in?
so salty?
Yes. If he's doing all of those things, who the fuck cares that he didn't get you red roses this year for Valentine's Day? He didn't take you out to dinner yet. It's on a Monday, kids.
And it's on a Monday.
Ugh.
Everybody hates Monday. God.
There's only one thing that really like redeems it, is I have a few family members who were born on that day.
Okay.
So their birthdays make it okay for me. But like, I don't know. I'm
like, I had a great experience and people are like, well, why are you so upset that happened? Like, you got all of these fun things. You got to carry it around and everyone
had a bad ending.
Well, in the end, like, I was really excited about it and got all of my hopes up to here. And then it got dashed right in May.
And you had to go stag to your own senior prom.
That's right.
Jerk.
And I danced with every single one of your dates.
I hope you did.
Ha!
I hope you did.
I did.
I don't know. I think we get cynical too, because, and I think it's fine to be cynical or hopeless romantic, whatever fits your narrative is great. But I think that all the bad experiences or bad boyfriends or bad love affairs or whatever you want to call them, some people have terrible ex-husbands and stuff that,
Well, in February,
that just ruin it for you.
Above all, now that I've gotten older, it's not feeling validated by someone else, but February is just a horrible month.
Yeah.
Besides November being a horrible month.
We also don't like February on this podcast.
Yes.
So there are 2 months of the year that need to go.
I hate February because we found out on February, well, actually today, in 2009. Yes, no, 13. No.
I can't do math and help because I'm bad at that.
I can't either. No, I still lived at home. Whatever. It was in the early 2000s. 2000s. My grandpa got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
So it's just a tough month.
And then at the end of the month is when my grandma passed away. So it's very rough. Like,
see, for me, it's just an expensive month because I have like 500 birthdays this month.
Yeah, so that's annoying. Mine's just about death.
Yeah, it's just a show about death. Bringing in the Beetlejuice.
Yep, I'm Lydia all the way in February. Nobody cares you're sad. I
I was like, don't ask me to fill that in. I don't know.
Everyone goes away.
Whoa,
a ballad already.
Nice. I don't know. I think this holiday too is the thing that ruins relationships. You watch it where they're like jealous.
Yes,
because like
they're
friend
jealous
A
about
has
everything.
all this stuff and friend B has this poem that her husband wrote
and
for
that
her.
is why I hate social media.
Oh God.
I hate social media for the fact that everyone posts all of the positive shit.
It's like keeping up with the Joneses effect of social media. Yeah.
Yes. It's like we're all trying to live this Stepford wide fucking life.
I don't want to be a Stepford wife.
And and leaving all their shit on the inside. So it's like you come out looking like Nancy Betty here, and then you shut the door and you're just like, oh my God, my life is so horrible.
I honestly think social media is the reason why so many Gen Z kids and younger have mental issues.
Yes. Or they have a problem with someone who is trying to give them strong criticism and they think they are being attacked.
Well, strong criticism does feel like that.
You do feel like you're being attacked.
Yes.
But
I can defend it a little bit because it's what it feels like. But I think older generations were kind of, suck it up, kid, you're going to be fine.
I know.
So that's what we do, which isn't healthy either.
That's what we grew up with. It's like, just suck it out. Don't express any of your feelings. Conceal, don't feel.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Conceal,
we were
don't
Elsa.
feel. We were all Elsa.
Yeah.
We were all trying to live Anna's life here, but we were all Elsa.
Gen X and millennial kids. That was what we were fed. Get over it, kid.
Literally.
You're going to be alone right now.
Believe me, when I turned 13, I looked like Elsa sitting in her room. And like her sister's like, do you want to build a snowman? And they're like, go the fuck away.
No.
Okay, fine.
I need these puberty hormones to go away.
But it's, yeah, like it's an emotional buildup that is absolutely fucking pointless. Great. I'm so glad that you guys had a date night. I'm nothing against yours.
Oh, well, mine wasn't for Valentine's Day. It was just,
it was a rando date night, which is fantastic.
That's what you should do. He actually called me earlier in the day and said, hey, I'd like to do more nice things for you. I don't think I've done enough nice things lately. Can I take you to dinner tonight?
See, it's all those long drives he has.
Can I take you to dinner tonight?
That's awesome.
Why don't you get all gussied up and we'll go out on the town, and all we did was go out to dinner, which is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining because that's my style. Go out to dinner, come back home.
Well, you
put
never
pajamas
see,
back on.
you never like you, it's for Valentine's Day, we're gonna go out. And here's this beautiful dress that I got.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. He took me to Gervasi.
We had a friend, she who must not be named, as we've referred to her on the show before, that would do that. I don't miss that, reading those. She was like the queen of, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yes, but also she would have that whole like negative, like, oh, I'm having such a horrible day. No one accepts me for who I am.
Well, if you weren't awful, they probably would, but that's a topic for another show.
That's another one for another day.
But you're right, it's those people, and I know I've said it on the show before, and I'm going to say it again, people that are always waxing poetic about how wonderful their spouse is on a routine basis.
Yes, those are ones that you know that have a really bad relationship.
They do, because they're overcompensating. It's much like men that get big trucks. They're compensating for something. And you go, like, I don't mind like anniversaries and birthdays, or every once in a while I'll be like, you know, husband brought home, you know, my favorite dinner or my favorite candy or something randomly because he thought
she got it just cause squishy.
Yeah, Squishmallow, because I was having a bad week, and users are buttheads. That's the shorthand of that whole story.
Period.
I had cried earlier that day, and he came home. He's like, look what I have. I was like, yes, it's so cute. You have to check our TikTok. I'll post him. He's cute.
He's so cute.
But the point is, like, you know, we have this fascination that really shines on days like Valentine's Day with, I'm better than you because my spouse did this for me, and I have this dress, and I have this candy. And
media is like that obnoxious sibling that wants to one up you every single day.
Yes.
And I'm just fucking numb to it.
We all know a one-upper, whether it's a sibling, a parent, a friend. There's always somebody in your life that's like, oh yeah.
Social media is that toxic one-upper.
Yeah. Oh, you have a cold? I have the flu. And you're like, ugh.
See, and our podcast is the one that supposedly we talk behind your back, but we're telling you straightforward, just not in the way that you heard.
We're always honest. I think that's what people either love or don't like about us.
In the time and place, we will tell you whatever you need to get you through that hump. we may say some rude things along the way.
Well, I think friends being rude is love, though. I think that's actual love. Like going, that dude is not good for you. You need to find a way out of that. Get an exit strategy. We want to keep you, not the problems. And
Yep,
that's hard to hear.
that's tough.
But it's even harder to say. And I don't think people really realize, especially this time of year.
Guts. It takes some guts.
Yeah. And you go, it's hard to be.
Because you're like, yay.
We'll go back to a Harry Potter reference. Why does Neville Longbottom get all the points? And I think it's either the Chamber of Secrets, or it might even be Sorcerer's Stone, where he tries to stop his friends. And Dumbledore awards him points because it's harder to have. It's harder to have the courage to stand up to your friends.
Yes.
And
that's when they froze him.
Yes.
Or stupefied him.
So he couldn't follow. Yeah. And you go, that's kind of true though. Like I think
he's like, no, you're not going to ruin Gryffindor anymore. I'm going to fight you. Sorry, Neville. Stupefy.
But you got to stupefy your friends.
It takes some guts.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to Valentine's Day and everyone's just like, oh, well, he's doing better for me or she's doing better for me. Like, I know that we're throwing a lot of he's out there, but there are also some negative she's out there.
Well, that's what happens when there's two hetero hosts on here. So we're just drawing on our own life experience here, but I'm sure it still happens in LGBTQ relationships.
Like for you to just shower everything all over social media. Why? Are you so happy that they got like you all this stuff so that you could show people that you don't even know?
Not very well,
this
anyway.
Person loves you. I mean, I have a lot of acquaintances on Facebook. I may put some shit out there, but still.
And it's not really the place to celebrate. Like for me, I would much rather have like a small group, like where we go out and get coffee and the four of us like drink and we talk about our lives. That's much more meaningful to me than what some person I haven't seen since high school thinks about my date night with my husband last night, like, and it means more to me when people that don't like my stuff like things like that too.
Yeah. And
it's weird.
If you notice with any holiday, there is like an increase in responses.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a normal regular day coasting through life.
Also, we talk about self-esteem, but I feel like sometimes I don't understand why this is. The more personal you are, the more responses you get.
Yes.
And the less personal you are, because I love posting memes. Posting memes is my favorite thing. I think I'm rather funny and things that I find is rather funny. And I like to share
all of her funny things.
So you go, okay, well, those get no interaction, or it's like the same 3 people that I know think I'm funny.
Yeah.
Liking it. And then I post a goofy ass picture of me and my husband going out to dinner and he's still wearing his work outfit, for God's sake.
I know. I thought that was really funny.
And I dressed up because I never get to. So I did. And it was like, I had more interactions on, look, he took me on a surprise date night than I've gotten on really funny things.
See, but you were personal.
It's so weird. And I think that's what people draw from things like Valentine's Day is their self-worth.
So then what happens is that they click on your name and they just scroll through and see what your life is about.
Oh.
It's the world of trolls.
She's a nerd.
Like, that's the only good thing he's done for her so far. Oh, this is boring.
Well, it's because I'm not one of those people that wants to keep up with the Joneses, which is funny because I'm actually related to a clan of Joneses. So when I say that, I feel really weird, but it's the metaphor I'm working with. But you see that and you go, okay, well, I'm not overdoing it. I didn't even like posting that. Like I felt weird about it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh,
when I was younger, like everything I did, I wanted to post because it was so fresh.
Yeah.
Like media was so fresh, but it's so much in my face that I'm just so bogged out. I don't know. Like I have no words. Like I have come to the point in social media when I like go through, and if it's someone that I don't like, but I know that I need to comment,
Oh, you need to comment. Oh, I hate
I
those.
get the auto ones. I just click on that motherfucker and just put it on there.
That is the best thing that's happened to Facebook, where they like,
I was like, thank you. I don't even know what to say.
they give you like, congratulations, that's beautiful, or happy
I'm like,
birthday. And you're,
perfect. I don't have to remember how to spell congratulations.
I'm gonna say congrats because I can't spell congratulations. And you're like,
This
whoa.
is why I failed the spelling bee, guys.
I was only ever in the one. I lost my confidence after I fucked up pyramid, 6th grade. It's gone.
Dude, I fucked up cement.
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 That
I
is kind of
spelled
hard.
scent.
Well, you know,
The M was silent.
everything is silent.
R-O-C-K. Oh, the C was silent.
Oh,
I had
Madison.
a Billy Madison moment as a child. I fell out of that and I was like, well, I'm screwed for life.
What we would like to know from you guys is, number one, what did you think of the Super Bowl halftime show? Because we have to know. We loved it.
We
We're
digged
hip-hop
it.
fans. Yeah, Snoop. Anyway, so then we also want to know, what is your worst Valentine's Day memory?
Well, yes.
What is it?
If yours can top my boyfriend.
Oh, I might have one before we hang up with you guys. And it wasn't it. I was dating my ex-husband, and no, this is not his fault. Yeah, and he gave me a promise ring on Valentine's Day,
Oh, that's cute.
my senior year of high school, which is very cute. That's a very high school present. Okay.
For some reason, my soul is just numb to this. Like,
No,
I
you're
don't
fine.
find this like, oh, it's so cute.
I had spent the entire afternoon in traffic court losing my license
Fuck.
on Valentine's Day, my senior year. And it was a couple, I don't know if it was a few weeks before that or a few weeks after, I got Bell's palsy and half of my face froze. And I had to regrow all those before senior prom. Thank you for all of that from my doctor, who was able to get them to regrow within about 4.5 weeks instead of 6. And now I look normal again. But the moral of the story is, I had fought with the judge. I thought at 17, I knew better than a judge in traffic court. And my parents would love this story, and I'm going to abbreviate it a lot. But basically, I got in a fight. My parents thought they were going into jail because of contempt of court, because the judge's face was bright red because I was arguing that much. They both reamed me a new asshole on the way home for how I behaved in traffic court. And I get home and there are flower petals from the door. That's what triggered me. From the door to my bedroom with a note and a poem that he had written me himself to go downstairs. I go downstairs and he like hugs me from behind and gives me this promise ring. And all I could do was break down and cry. I like ruined the entire night because I was in the worst mood. And I don't know if that's what ruined it for me forever, because I ruined the day. It was my fault. But I lost my license and it's all I could focus on. And I think at 17, you focus on really weird shit.
You do. You focus on really weird things. When I went to traffic court, my mom goes, oh, you're going to be like your father.
Oh, no.
So it begins.
And you're like, great.
I'm like, fantastic. Okay, so I've only been to court twice.
Mine was because of a snow-related accident a few months previous.
Mine was a school bus.
Awesome.
It was a stop.
I like totally paused.
Okay, so you know how there are 2 lanes, okay? 2 lanes. And then you have that middle lane that has like the turns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
I didn't think you had to stop, because who the fuck is going to let their kid cross that?
Apparently somebody does.
But in my case, it was yellow. So I was at caution, and there happened to be a cop sitting right when he turned on his red light.
Oh, that's not good.
As I was crossing, like passing the bus. So they pulled me over, had my license for at least 4 weeks.
Which is an eternity for a high school kid.
My sister was in the back seat. My best friend was sitting in the front seat. And my sister was bitching and complaining at me. And I was yelling at her. So I had to go to court. The judge had to pull out the traffic book because he didn't think I needed to be stopped.
Whoa.
So he had to pull out that big old dusty book.
I'm so proud of you though, because that's like, mine was obviously my fault, but yours was like let's analyze this.
Mine was a referee going to the sideline to look at the video.
We could have used some referees at this Super Bowl. That's another thing you guys could tell us about in the comments.
The own judge was throwing the red flag.
Oh my gosh.
Say, I want to review this. He pulled out that book. He goes, no, you shouldn't have gotten, wait a second, pulls it out.
It's a big
because
book.
Because like I went in and I was like, what do I do? Do I say not guilty or guilty? And like my girl was like, just say you're guilty, pay the fine,
and be done. Yeah.
So
sage advice, by the way. Pay the fine and just be done is great advice for any traffic incursion.
And here I am, this young teenager who's freaking the fuck out with all these other people who have other like horrible things that they've done.
And yours is just a, should I have turned left or not?
With her grandma because her mom couldn't get out of work to take her to court. Goes up to the judge and they're like, how do you find yourself? I'm like, guilty.
I did it. It was me.
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna say guilty. But then when he pulled out the book, he was like, okay, your fine isn't gonna be half as bad. That I would pass it off as a warning, but it's right here in state law. So I mean, you gotta pay the fine. But I was like, thank you.
It's like the worst. I had the most traumatic senior year of high school. It's like looking back at that whole year, I'm like, so I got in an accident where it wrecked my first car.
We have a lot of life lessons here, guys.
And drove there in bad weather with his dad to make sure I wasn't dead. Then there was Bell's palsy and losing my license. And then, yeah, it was a weird, but I met him, and because of him, I have a child. So, you know,
that's the positive.
We're gonna call that a win.
As my mom says, you kids were the best thing that came out of that marriage.
Yes. And the fact that I don't hate him is great. Most women hate their ex-husbands. And I'm fortunate that, you know, through time and therapy, I've been able to like, I think hindsight's 20/20. And I think whenever a relationship fails, it's like really hard to not blame the other person because that's the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at yourself and go, what the hell did I do? What could I have done differently? And that's how you have to go into your next relationship, is to not do the things that you did wrong to contribute. Because it takes two people to get married and 2 people to get divorced.
Yes.
So
yes. Like it's really hard because like I see my mom's side, because I mean, I met the woman who he was cheating on during her marriage. So
that's awful.
And years later, my second grade teacher, Mrs. Dennis, goes, fun fact. Well, she didn't say it that way. She's like, because my dad used to be a mechanic, he worked at the BP station in town. And she was like, I was dropping my car off to get it fixed. And his new wife was with him there. And he was like, oh, we're just coworkers. That's all it is.
So he's always been a classy guy, is what you're telling me.
Class A guy, and I just keep getting class A guys. Woo! I'm doing great, guys, out here. Hashtag daddy issues.
On that note, speaking of daddies, actually, next week we're going to be talking about all the incarnations of Pride and Prejudice. So it's going to be called Wherefore Art Thou, Mr. Darcy? And we are hoping to have one of our girls, if not both of them, on the podcast next week.
Yes, we were hoping to have them on tonight, but they had other
schedules are weird right now. So we're trying to work with everybody and get everybody in. So
through time and space, we will get it figured out.
Well, now that we have this way to record, we might actually be able to do that remotely on their schedule a little easier. Yeah. So look out for that. And we had fun with you guys. Happy Valentine's, or Fuck this. I hate Valentine's. Day to you guys. Whichever you celebrate. And if you do go out and you do like to have fun, enjoy it.
Yeah, have a blast.
Try to keep it to yourself though.
Just remember,
I'm just kidding.
These are our opinions,
not yours.
Not yours.
So see you next time, kids.
Goodbye.
Bye.